All right, good evening and welcome to the September 30th edition of Late Night Sauce. It's the final day of September. My name's Mario. I'm here with my co-host Noah. And we got a special guest tonight. We have Mr. Nick Fede here from Kingston Liquors.
Hello, yes.
We were trying to get Nick on for a little while, and the typical, we'll get back to you, and because we had a little hiatus. Is that the word I want to use? Hiatus.
Hey, you guys are too busy for me.
Yeah, We're not blaming you on this one, Nick. We're not blaming you.
That's not you.
But we're gonna get some. I think we're gonna get some crazy insight tonight from a very educated man in the liquor scene and bar scenes, and so and we're gonna have to mention that as always we are drinking Kettle One on the podcast. Still waiting for that sponsorship from Kettle One, but Nick is kind of getting a little classy with us here, drinking some Post and Beam Cabernet.
Yes.
What year is that? 2022.
2022 Post and Beam Cabernet.
Oh wow!
It's the third label of Farniente wines. It's great.
I kind of wonder what our podcast would be like, if we drank wine on it instead of kettle.
I don't know. I feel like we'd have to do it earlier.
I got a funny feeling that we'd be like, it'd be like 25-minute podcast and we'd be taking naps right after before we drive home.
We'd be bringing up some big topics at that point.
I'm afraid. I like to stick with the kettle, but Nick's keeping it classy with the Post and Beam, which is a great wine. So
by the way, Safe House has a great price on this wine. $75 a bottle.
I've been told that from numerous guests about a lot of not just Post and Beam, a lot of our wines. People are shocked by our pricing here at the Safe House, and I know our motto is we want repeat customers instead of trying to drain every nickel out of them. So I think that helps a little bit as well. But I mean, I'm sure Morgan has his deals set up and he actually knows what he's doing when it comes to this. So it's definitely a good science of pricing, but at the same time, you don't want to overcharge and leave a bad sour note as a customer.
No, totally. And it's so I've made a career, operating my family's liquor store in North Kingstown, and we pride ourselves on service and value to consumers. And sometime over COVID, a lot of our industry got away from that.
Yeah.
And making connections with customers, consumers, educating, and one thing I noticed about this place is there is that value. There's no effort here to take advantage of consumers. And right now, wine is up against the ropes nationwide. Wine sales are down.
Really?
Yeah, big time. So alcohol as a category is down, but wine is out-trending the pace at which alcohol is down. And a lot of that has to do with us losing touch with our consumers over COVID. And the fact that you can come into the Safe House and have a glass of high-end Cabernet for under $20 a glass, it's just a testament of an effort that this establishment is making to make it approachable to drink wine. Because more often than not, right now, consumers are looking for bang for their buck.
Right.
If you can get a martini for $15, but the cheapest glass of wine is $15, what are you going to go with? Martini.
I guess it's. I'm not a huge wine person as I drink wine in certain establishments. That's the way. And if I'm hanging out with certain guests, certain people, whether it's family or certain friends, I can't just go to any bar and order a glass of wine. If I come to Safe House, I feel like I could order a glass of wine. I'm gonna get some steak tonight.
Yeah.
I'm having a night. I could go to wine, but I can't go to Blue or Main Street Coffee and order a glass of wine. It's not my thing.
Yeah, no way. No.
I'm the same way with bourbon as well. I can't order bourbon in certain places, but I can drink vodka anywhere, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like to drink vodka in places that don't have the soda gun, though.
Yeah, it's valid.
Really? Yeah, the bottles get flat. I don't know what it is. Is it? We've had this conversation before, but it's just something about carbonate. Even at home, I don't drink vodka sodas at home.
So Capital Grill. Sorry, Fancy Steakhouse.
We're gonna get sued. This is awesome.
Fancy Chain Steakhouse. They one of the hallmarks of their chain is there's no soda gun in any of the locations. Yeah, no soda gun. The whole aesthetic they're looking for is we're going to open everything to order. So
I can see a place like that doing that though.
Like if you're opening the soda to order, that's different.
Yeah,
I mean, a soda that's been sitting there for a while. It just kind of
I don't want anyone pour me a club soda out of a liter.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no way. But it's funny. Like if you're doing like vodka sodas in that establishment, your bottle of club soda will get left
on the table
in front of you.
Yeah,
which I think is such a classy.
See that I can roll with. I can roll with that. Yeah,
of course. Yeah,
but yeah,
I love the romance of your side of the industry because like I'm what I do is off premise consumption. So I sell a sealed bottle, and someone takes it home and drinks it.
Okay.
Where you guys either make a drink or open a drink for people, and you get to see in real time the enjoyment of the product. And I wish I got to experience that. That's a whole different. Like like tonight, even opening this bottle of wine, you got to ask me how is it, and you knew my satisfaction in that moment. I don't get that. If I could suggest something to a customer, I might not know for a month if I did a good job.
It's tough. It's a tough slope that we deal with on a regular basis too, because all customers are just so diverse sometimes. Like there's people that come in here that want to have a good time and they're not going to enjoy themselves, and there's people that no matter what you do, you can't make them happy, and whatever you suggest, you can't win, and you give them what they want, they're still not happy, kind of a thing. So it's not as it's not always fun and games back here when it comes to serving. My main thing is, and this I'm going to lead into your industry with this is. I'm sure I've seen this numerous places at liquor stores that advertise we beat competitors' pricings, this and that. How often do you have to deal with somebody walking into your place saying, well, down the street sell this for $4 cheaper. Can I have it at this price? Or does your place offer that?
Yeah, within reason. And, the tough part is, like, if a supplier goes through a price increase,
right,
and a competitor, might buy 200 cases of something.
So it's cheaper so they can sell it at a discount.
Yeah, which, is their prerogative to do. But, if in that case, like, sometimes I won't be able to match that price because the other retailer is offering it at beneath the new cost. Yeah. That's very rare. So, but I will say if someone comes in with a recent receipt to our store from a different store and it has a better price, we will honor that because we do recognize how competitive the retail environment is.
It's going to be hard for you guys.
Yeah.
That's not like, because that happens to us here. Like, I mean, luckily, I was told we're one of the lowest priced places for alcohol in the area right now. Bottles of beer, liquor, wine, you name it. I mean, certain things are a little higher than other places, but like within $1. But like, I've had people come up to me like I'll have 2 Bud Lights and I go $7.50. That's it, and I'm like, yeah, it's too bad, $7.50, $3.75 a piece, and their faces just drop like, oh my god, this and that. But then I've had other women come in like, what do you mean you're charging me $13 for that glass of rosé? It costs $11 in the liquor store, and I'm like, well, that's how we make profit, this and that. And it's like disheartening sometimes. Like, it's not fun having to explain to them like, hey, we have to charge this. That's how we stay open. And I feel like it's even harder for you guys. I remember when I was running Grill on Main's bar, and I used to deal with the vendors, and you guys at the liquor stores did not pay that much less than we did for our booze. Like, if we're paying $24.99 for a case of beer, you're paying like $22.99 for the same case. So I'm like, how do you guys make money? You gotta make your money on the volume. I get that.
Yeah, totally.
So it's gotta be hard when somebody comes in trying to bust you up a little bit over like a $2 difference. I mean, come on. You probably spend more money driving back and forth in gas to try to save the same amount of money. Like, and don't get me wrong.
Is it worth the argument?
Exactly. Like, don't get me wrong. If I know a place is selling Kettle One at $33 1.7, and the other place down the street is selling for $42, I'm gonna go down to the $32 place. Yeah. I'm not gonna bust the guy down the street at $42 saying, "Hey, why are you charging me this?" Because there's a reason why he's charging that. That's the way I look at it. So it's got to be difficult for you there.
It's tricky, and the whole thing, people that just focus on price, that's not the consumer you're developing a long-term relationship with, because that person will sell you down the river for $1.
100%.
And what you guys are doing, it comes down to service and treating people correctly, and being that person that develops a relationship with your customers. We have my store is a generational business. I'm third generation in my store, and we've had generations of families be our customers. It's a personal relationship. So as long as you focus on service and treating people well and having sharp but fair prices, not necessarily always the best, you're going to be okay. And for instance, in the area of my store, our closest competitors are Colonial Liquors, Woodford Package, Town Line Liquors, Thorpe's, The Savory Grape. All good retailers in different ways, and we all focus on different things and have our strengths. There's enough room for everyone to be unique, and that's why I love independent retail markets, because it allows for independence and independent thought and style, and every retailer can bring a different shopping experience to consumers. It allows for retailers to focus on different things. And my store, for instance, focuses on different products than Thorpe's does, and that's good. Which means that I have better prices than them on certain things. They have better prices than I do on certain things. I think that's healthy, and it allows. It's actually fun. People come to this market as salespeople to sell things in, and they always comment on how great a independent market is, because it's fun and unique, and every account offers a different challenge. So it's great, and it's so my other cap that I wear is I'm the executive director of the Rhode Island Liquor Operators Collaborative. So I essentially run our state liquor stores association. So I get to go in stores all around the state and talk to retailers, and I get to see what their stores look like, and it's so much fun. Going to see.
You have a good relationship. You have you guys. It's like a good camaraderie. Camaraderie, is that the word I want to use?
Yeah, we have great camaraderie, and it's a strong association.
I feel like it always works better when everybody works together than compete against each other. I feel like the same thing with bartenders and restaurants. If we're all friends, same thing with liquor stores. I think it just always works better when you're together.
Right. Yeah. And we have antitrust policies, and we don't talk about pricing or any of that stuff. But we do collaborate on our common denominator issues, which largely are legislative, but we also focus on who services your coolers, stuff like that, and hey, what do you think about doing displays this way, or merchandising, or shelf sets, and oftentimes when you get together with people in your same industry, much like going to a conference in another industry, and start sharing best practices or ideas about how to do retail well, you're going to all get better. And if we can all get better, we're going to provide better retail experiences to consumers, and everyone benefits from that. So,
how long have you been doing that for?
So my family has been in the liquor industry for 72 years.
Damn.
My great uncle was one of the founding members of the state's first liquor store association 51 years ago, and I started my association 3 years ago. So
you've been doing it for 3 years.
For 3 years,
okay.
And I really love. I really love the advocacy work. It's a joy, and I'm one of the vice presidents of our national association.
Nice.
So, I work on legislative issues locally and in Washington, D.C., as well as doing outreach to associations like RILOC all over the country, in contact with people all over the country
Very
on a
nice.
daily basis. So it's really cool, and it's so nice knowing, especially when we're up against some battles, that you're not alone.
Oh, yeah.
And there's always, we all learn from one another. Like, gosh, Lance Lively in Texas and Josh Hammond in Tennessee, Rob Mellion in Massachusetts.
You think all you guys are in the same, the whole country, all these different states are on the same boat as far as like challenges in the liquor industry?
Yeah, so like I would say when we get together, like there are a lot of big overarching challenges, and there are some things that are unique to each state, which is 21st Amendment allowed states to make their own liquor laws. So
each state has their own laws.
So each state has their own laws. So there are certainly unique challenges to specific states. Like one of the major legislative issues last year in Wisconsin was regulating wedding barns. Do you know what a wedding barn is?
A wedding barn?
A wedding barn. So people in Wisconsin have barns on their property.
Okay.
And they wanted to have weddings in these barns without liquor licenses. Well, if I'm the Wisconsin Tavern League, who's a member of my national association, American Beverage Licensees, I would view these wedding barns as an erosion, to my business. So last session, they made an effort to regulate these wedding barns and limit the amount of events they're able to have each year. That's not an issue in Rhode Island.
No.
So we don't have wedding barns. But that's an issue unique to them. But like right now, as cannabis is being slowly regulated across the country, that's an interest of everyone. And the states that led off, Massachusetts and Colorado, we're learning a lot from them, as well as states that have gotten even more aggressive with it, like Minnesota. Minnesota in the last 2 years has done quite a big push on regulating not only marijuana but hemp-derived THC.
A friend of mine told me about years ago to buy. He was trading stock, and he told me about this place in Minnesota. They were going to be one of the first pioneers for the legal grow houses and stuff. He said, jump in on this. I had no money at the time, so I couldn't do it. I think he made a ton of money on it. I don't know the name of the place. He told me, like, I'm going back. I wasn't even working here yet, so I'm going back before COVID, like 2019. No, yeah. I was saying 2017, I think. He goes, yeah, there's this place out of Minnesota. I'm telling you, it's going to be the big thing. And
it's happening. And
now it's happening. It's crazy.
It's happening. So right now, the big discussion across the country with liquor retailers is what to do with Delta 9 THC beverages, hemp-derived Delta 9 THC. So essentially, the 2018 FDA every 4 or so years comes out with or makes an effort to pass a farm bill through Congress, and it's a regulatory bill that regulates the agriculture in the country. The 2018 bill got hemp got regulated in the 2018.
What did we have here that was the hemp seltzer?
The long trail. No, there were CBD seltzers. The long trail.
Yeah, which is hemp derived.
That is hemp derived.
Yeah. So
what was the brand on that?
Long Trail.
It was Long Trail.
Yeah.
Did we have another one besides that one here at the time?
No.
I thought it was like a different. I don't remember being Long Trail. Long Trail did it.
Long Trail, yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Vermont, man, they do that shit.
Yeah.
So like, for a long time, so 2018 rolls around, and Mitch McConnell, Republican in the Senate, the majority leader in the Senate at that point, he might have been. He's minority leader now. He might have been majority leader at that point. Republicans might have been in power. Anyway, Mitch McConnell, everyone knows who he is. In his district, in his state, Kentucky, there's a lot of hemp farmers, and they lobbied him to push hemp regulation in the 2018 Farm Bill. So it essentially legitimized the growth, the growth of hemp, the transportation of hemp across state lines, and using hemp to create products. Now, hemp is a cousin of marijuana. marijuana is federally illegal, but states are legalizing it one by one.
Right.
Hemp, because of this farm bill, has been interpreted as now legal. So they figured out how to take hemp and glean THC out of it in a big way in the form of Delta-9. So now we have these hemp-derived THC beverages that in Rhode Island now can have up to 5 milligrams per serving in it and be sold in licensed outlets that have to have a CBD, have to be CBD retailers, hemp-derived retailers. When you guys were selling Long Trail CBD seltzers, there was no license for it. Only in the last 2 years.
This came out recently.
Has the state tightened up those regulations on that?
We didn't do that. We never had those. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
No, but when you had them, there was probably no license for it yet.
Yeah.
It's like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been
It was before COVID, wasn't it?
My store had it too. And so now the big thing is, okay, these are intoxicating substances that behave just like the marijuana counterparts. Where do they belong?
So do you think that they're going to make people in the service industry take a special certification besides the alcohol training that we have to do?
So it's already in tips training.
It's already
part of it. Yes. Yeah.
It is?
Yeah, it's in there.
Well, I did mine 2 years ago. I'm coming up, so
Yeah.
it must be on the new. It must be on the new one.
Yeah, it's already in
Study
there.
up in the next year or two.
I mean, it was kind of easy to do that last course. I mean, I don't know about this stuff now.
Well, but to your point, you already know, as a professional alcohol server, the telltale signs of when to serve someone and when not to serve someone. And I feel like these THC beverages, it takes a similar skill set to do that. So a lot of my argument right now is, well, if we're going to regulate this stuff, it should go in alcohol channels because we're the experts in selling intoxicating beverages.
I feel like the battle we've been dealing with for years, I want to say, honestly, I've been dealing with this probably for the last 8 years before I even started working here at the Safe House Trap. But it's getting worse in the last 4 years since COVID reopening, is that like what we're trained to look for and do, in the old days it was a little more clear cut, but now like it just turns so quickly to like a negative, like
Outburst.
Yeah. In other words, like people are saying to us like, "Hey, how many did you serve that guy?" I go, "We've given him one drink in the last hour and a half. I don't know what he's doing in the bathroom. I don't know what he's doing in the parking lot. I don't know what he's doing, what he's popping in before he walked in the door." Like so I feel like, honestly, of all the incidences that we've had in the last few years in this establishment, a lot of it had nothing to do with what we did as far as serving. It was the extracurricular stuff they're doing before they come in. And that's one of the things. I don't know how it works when it comes to blood alcohol content, if drugs play a place in that. I mean, yeah, I know you take a blood sample. Oh, we found traces of heroin. We found traces of coke. We found traces of this. But, like, are they always going to say, hey, alcohol comes first? Like, I don't know how it works.
Well, you sound right now like the Fraternal Order of Police lobbying against marijuana legalization, because
that's not what I'm doing.
No. But that's that same approach that they took, because if we're pulling someone over, or if it's those lines are very blurred on, what are they on? What's a safe level? And how do I use my discretion?
Right, it's crazy.
It's really difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult.
And
that's what I'm saying. I'm not taking sides. That's
no.
Yeah.
And we struggle with it on our side, where like in this state, marijuana is legal.
So let me ask you this, because I know allegedly, I was taking the tips class from like old school style with Frank Fahlberg. Remember, you ever meet Frank?
Stop.
Nicest guy.
Frank's a good human.
You are lucky you never had to deal with him, man. He's a great guy, nicest guy on the planet. Had some great stories, But when you have to get recertified every 2 years, being an old man bartender like myself, and you have to hear the same stories every 2 years and sit through a 4-hour class, it's not fun. So that's why when the online stuff happened, it was great. But I just remember, like, he would talk very, very smart, man. Now, all your people that are cashiers in your establishment, are they tip certified?
Yes.
What are some of the craziest things they've had to deal with at your store?
Oh my gosh. I mean, you name it. It's a range. Someone took a swing at me once.
They took a swing at you once?
Yeah.
For no reason or because you wouldn't serve them?
I wouldn't serve them.
Okay.
I wouldn't serve them. I mean, we've had to deal with some wild situations. I mean, there was one incident where a woman chased her kid around a parking lot, and
her kid around the parking lot?
Yeah,
or a kid?
Her child, was misbehaving, and she was misbehaving with the child.
Okay, it happens all the time.
And you know, I don't think that she was. I don't think that she was inebriated that day, but you know, she tried to come in the store after and get served alcohol.
With the kid?
No, kid was in the car.
Even worse.
At that point. And then I'm like, at that point...
It's a bad sign when the kid's in the car and they're in the liquor store, you know?
I'm not going to serve that person. I mean, there's always an issue with underage trying to get alcohol, and there's telltale signs there. I mean, we have a strict policy in our store where if someone's trying to purchase a keg and they're under 25, the answer is no.
Really?
Yeah, because in that case, whenever you're serving someone alcohol, especially in a closed container, and you see what they're buying, you should be asking yourself, well, who's that for? I
mean, 9 out of 10 times a keg, it's high school kids.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times. Especially, let me guess, Natty Light.
Right? And we purposely don't carry low-end kegs.
Just because of that?
Because of that.
Yeah.
Because, like,
because the high school kids can't afford...
If you stock Busch Light in a half barrel, and it's $100 out the door, who's it for?
Yeah.
You know? So, there are moments where, you know, you see the dark side of our industry, and you have to deal with people that can't handle it, or, you know, whatever. But, you know, for the most part, what I do in the store is, we're selling products to elevate people's lives.
Yeah.
You know, and we have the privilege of selling products like Post and Beam Cabernet or Kettle One vodka. We are taking sponsors.
The greatest vodka on the planet.
Correct.
The greatest vodka ever.
I love Kettle One. It's really I tried to go to the distillery this summer, and my friends wouldn't take the train ride with me
so badly.
Okay, we always do this. Where is the distillery again?
Netherlands.
I always mix it up with Holland.
The Nole Distillery.
I mix Netherlands and Holland all the time.
I mean, they're both. It's the same. Holland initially, but it's now officially the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You're
but you were saying things that weren't Holland before.
Yeah. It's not Belgium. It's not Sweden. It's the Netherlands. But like I did a deep dive on the Google map, like what, like the area on the distillery, like what it looked like. I'm like, it's like a factory area. It's not like romantic or anything. So we decided.
I wouldn't imagine it being romantic.
They tell you to go visit. They want you.
I know they want you to go visit.
It's on the box.
It's on the box.
It's on the box.
I want to bring it with me. Be like, you told me.
Yeah, we decided to stay in Amsterdam and go to the Heineken brewery instead.
Ooh,
which was cool. Which is also cool.
I wish I could drink Heinekens. I can't.
It's a completely different experience over in Europe.
So you're saying the Heinekens in Europe taste different than the Heinekens here?
Yes.
Obviously,
yes.
I don't know.
Chris Quinn was saying that when he was in Colorado, the Coors Banquet tasted way different. I don't know the validity.
Colorado Rockies, man.
Yeah, man.
I believe that.
It's from the source, you know. Like, it's just different.
The Coors Brewery is massive.
Yeah, I can imagine.
In Golden, Colorado, it's huge. It's huge.
But yeah, no. I mean, yeah. I feel the Heineken it definitely tastes quite different. It doesn't have to cross the ocean.
And you think it tastes better in Amsterdam?
Does the Peroni taste different in Italy?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it tastes the same to me.
Really?
Not
Yes.
for long.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
They're moving production of Peroni, of American Peroni, to America.
Bastards.
Oh, there it
They're
is.
doing they're doing the same thing to Peroni that Anheuser-Busch did to Stella Artois. It's
Stella Artois is the same too?
the Stella Artois you drink
Man.
is brewed in Merrimack,
Those
New
are two
Hampshire.
of my favorite beers.
Merrimack, New Hampshire.
Yeah,
How long ago did Stella do that?
that's in the last 10 years. Probably.
Oh, I'm
5
fine
years
with that
ago.
because I've been drinking Stella for 10 years and I love it. So
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah, no.
Keep up the good work, Stella.
You know,
Keep up the good work.
the way water science works, I'm sure it's going to taste the same. They mean the fact that you can go anywhere in this country and like what really irked me in the craft beer boom of 15 years ago was, this false sense of superiority that craft beer was better than domestic beer. Was it better? No, it was just different, and maybe it focused on different exotic flavors and hops and more robust. But you look at a beer like Budweiser, and no matter where you have it, it tastes the same.
Tastes the same.
Budweiser comes out of 12. Don't quote me. 12-ish different domestic breweries around the country.
I've been to the one in New Hampshire.
Yeah,
I've been to that one. Very nice.
super cool.
Yeah.
And the beer that comes out of there tastes the same as the beer that comes out of the Van Nuys, California brewery and the St. Louis brewery. Like, they all taste the same. Why? Water science. They employ some of the best chemists in the world to pre-treat their water before they even brew their beer and make sure that chemically it's the same water.
I did not know that.
That is impressive.
It's
Is it the same with vodka?
What?
Is it the same with vodka? Because isn't Stoli not made in Russia anymore? It's made in...
Stoli was not made in Russia in the first place, I don't think.
Stoli's not a Russian product.
It was a Russian product.
Yeah, but not anymore.
It was
Well,
it was
whatever.
part of the Soviet Union.
Soviet Union, but it's not. I don't think it's part of that anymore neither. Isn't Stoli's?
Soviet Union's not around, buddy.
I understand. It's not that part of the country, the world. I think it's in the. Is that?
Latvia.
Is
it
that
Latvia?
Latvian, yeah.
Currently,
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Just about.
I thought it got bought by the British.
No.
All right, interesting fact. Russian Stoli is made in Russia and sold in Russia. Anything outside of Russia is made in Latvia.
Latvia. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know why someone put it in my head that it was British.
Yeah, I don't know where you got that.
It was right when that war was going on with
the Ukraine.
Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah.
And it was, I'm not drinking that vodka
Well, in
anymore,
2022, they changed the exported Stoli changed their official name from Stolichnaya to Stoli to distance themselves.
Yeah, it's on the bottles. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, that new package, Stoli's an interesting brand because, it's Stoli and its flavors are staples in the in the American bar back.
Yes.
And it's a product of the 1990s. I mean, it was the first brand to truly assert itself as a flavored vodka.
The flavored vodkas. I remember when Stoli Orange came out, everybody was going ape shit over it.
Stolio.
They were going ape shit over it. It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
like
think
orange vodka.
Yeah, if you like orange vodka, it was very good for its time. Because before that it was like Finlandia had one, and you had Absolute Citron, but it was but like as far as like branching out to flavors, like Stoli was the first, and and it was still like affordable at the time. It wasn't crazy. I mean, it was more expensive than Absolute and Svedka and Finlandia and everything, but like they took off with that, and then then all of a sudden everybody started making flavors, and you got the crap stuff coming out, and you have the good stuff coming out, and
I remember when I first came home from college, and that was 2011, 2012. Everyone was into confections. That was the advent of like Three Olives doing Mountain Dew flavors,
man, root beer, Mountain Dew, Fruit
Loops, Swedish Fish.
Man, Swedish Fish.
Oh God!
It was them, and it was Pinnacle.
Yeah, they were going neck and neck.
But they were going neck and neck, but they were also priced at the same price.
Oh yeah.
and doing the same thing.
Doing the same thing. It was all sugar. It was.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, hey, good for them. I mean, guess what? We talked about this earlier. The consumer is trying to save a few dollars. These young kids, they're not gonna pay $28 for Stoli Orange, but they'll pay $12.99 for Pinnacle Orange. You know,
but like the crazy thing was like when like Smirnoff would launch a new flavor, and it
was right after Stoli.
Yeah,
I remember that.
But it could be an obscure flavor. Let's just call it Smirnoff gummy bears, which never existed. But Smirnoff gummy bears would have pints, half pints, handles, 750s, liters.
Yeah,
and our wholesalers, because they were getting pressure from the suppliers, would be selling in 5 different sizes of a brand new flavor of vodka that the consumer didn't necessarily want. So after you say yes 5 separate times, now you have 25 new SKUs in your store of obscure flavors, and sooner than later, these stores got inundated with oceans of obscure flavored vodka.
So let me ask you this, because I've noticed this a few times in stores, and I haven't checked recently because now obviously I just buy handles of Kettle One because I drink so much of it. But I noticed some stores have 750s and then only 1.75s. They don't have the liters.
Yeah. So
is that a new thing? Because I feel like it wasn't like that before.
That's a product of about 10 years ago, and most suppliers at that point. So the liter has always been a bar package. Thanks. Liter has always been a bar package, but there used to be some price separation on the shelf. About 10 years ago, suppliers started programming and discounting 1.75s.
Right.
So oftentimes,
it was cheaper to buy 1.75 than a liter.
To retail, yeah.
Yes.
Where there would be programs catered to bars that would feature liters. That same programming wouldn't be featured to liquor stores. So I remember there was a time where, like Absolute, for instance, had a higher liter price than a 1.75 price.
Yes.
But my store was still carrying all 3 sizes. And I'm like, guys, why are we doing that? That's never going to sell.
Right.
So over time, if it's not a brand in our not a spirit brand in our top 10 spirit brands, I will not carry the liter.
Okay.
Because the pricing doesn't make sense.
Okay, that's what I noticed, because I think I saw a liter of Kettle One was like $28.99, and then the 1.75 was like $32, and I was like,
why would you ever buy that?
Why would I buy that?
I've never seen a liter of Kettle Peach at a liquor store.
I haven't either.
No. 750s only, and it'll make the big ones.
The wild thing, like being in Europe, I was just in Europe last week. Not bragging, I was there for work. But liters are not a thing in Europe.
Really?
All the liquor bottles are 700 milliliters. So think about a 750 on our shelves here. The bottles on the shelves in Europe are 700s. So they're smaller. It's the weirdest.
I noticed that when I was
there.
It's
the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing.
I just thought it was because I just feel like they don't drink the way we drink in Europe.
They don't.
Americans drink differently, and I felt it when I was there because they were I was getting looks in Italy. They were giving me looks, and I deserved them.
Oh yeah, did you?
Oh, I deserved them. But I'm just saying, like, I did notice that, and a lot of places I used to go to were like little, like, it was almost like 7-Eleven with a bar.
Yeah.
in the middle of the piazza or whatever, because my family lived in the country. I go stay with family. We go, let's go grab a beer, and we go to this little place, and they sell like cigarettes, soccer cards, gum, candy, beer, cappuccinos. Oh, it's like being at 7-Eleven, but like and you just get beers and you hang out, and there's no bar stools. It was legit just like tables, and they would just like sit and hang out and just drink. There was no like waitresses. There was none of that. It was just like legit, but
just go.
Yeah, but I didn't notice. There's all little bottles everywhere. I'm like, okay.
So our approach to alcohol in this country is so different from Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, where do we start? Spirits are not the focus in Europe. They're just not. spirits are complementary; they're secondary. The focus in Europe was always number one: how do we purify water? How do we purify our water? So, Italy, and areas that had propensity to grow grapes, they got really good at making wine.
Yep.
And then the other places got good at making beer. Belgium, Germany.
Belgians make great beer.
Yeah,
They do.
So,
Love Belgian beer.
but it all came out of a necessity of how do we purify our water? Because up until 100 years ago, I mean, it wasn't that we weren't that confident on how safe the water was to drink, in an area, maybe 200 years ago. But when you look at European wines, the focus is not on necessarily the wine. The alcohol levels are lower. They're more approachable to drink. They're less bold in flavor, and they're more open to being paired with food because they're complementary to that lifestyle. You look at a lot of American wines, it's not about food at all. It's about being assertive in its own brazen nature, much like American personality. The wines are bigger. I mean, that's why you have wines like Orange Swift. Like
Great wine.
great wines,
Great wine.
but they're big, they're high in alcohol,
Yep.
and even some steaks can't even keep up with it. You look at like American beers, the whole craft beer boom here. It has nothing to do with subtlety. It's all about being big in your face. And then, Europeans, I mean, they used spirits mainly. Now, let's keep vodka out of the conversation. That's very much a Russian invention.
Yeah.
But and we can make the argument that the Russian culture isn't really a European culture. It's more their own thing. But like when you look at France, Italy, and the focus on wine, the spirit world there really comes at the beginning and end of a meal in the form of aperitifs and digestifs.
Yes.
The funniest thing was,
And then some Americans take those aperitifs and digestifs and turn them into cocktails.
yes, correct, and pair them.
That's what we do.
And pair them with whiskeys and vodkas and gin, big bold stuff.
We love our chartreuse here at the Safe House, don't we?
Oh yeah, yeah, you do.
Morgan Macy loves that chartreuse.
He does green chartreuse. He
loves
it. But the funny thing about being in Europe is how little they focus on vodka, because really, like vodka, the whole intent of vodka is to be flavorless. That's the goal of vodka, and a lot of it is to drink for the drug of it, and not necessarily the purified water piece. And and believe me, I love alcohol, the drug. It is great. It's relaxing, but it serves a certain purpose.
So you're drinking wine tonight. So what's your go-to? Obviously, I served you whiskey in the
My
old
go-to
bourbon.
is wet with alcohol.
Is what?
Wet with alcohol.
What does that mean? Wet with alcohol.
If it's wet and it has alcohol,
Okay,
he's there.
so
So
I get that.
depending
I
on my
get
mood.
that.
So like
exactly, depending on the moods. I like that.
I'm so passionate, of our of our industry and the products that we get to sell. I don't shy away from much. It's me. I love to.
You don't have, you hear those stories like, oh, I can't have this. I had a bad night. You don't have any bad nights for anything, do you?
I do.
What was one of the? What was one of the
7 and 7. I can't drink 7 and 7.
Ugh.
7 sevens?
Yeah, those are done.
Oh man!
But everything
What
else
if
is
we
pretty fair
had
game.
7-Up, like the original set, not Sprite?
No. It was 7 Up.
Oh,
I worked with a woman. I was a busboy. This woman, Louisa, rest in peace, great woman, Louisa Maripesi. She was a crazy waitress, and she would drink 7 and 7s after her shift, and it was hysterical. So when I turned 21, I tried to order a 7 and 7 for my drink. I couldn't drink it. It was so bad. It was so bad I couldn't do it.
It's so funny. Like I play music in my other life.
Yes, we could talk
And
about that too.
speaking of-
He's performing at Trap North.
Yes, November 2nd.
Nick's band is called Social Assassins.
The Social Assassins.
The Social Assassins, I think, is an amazing name, by the way.
it is a great name. Fantastic.
Trap North,
pretty
November
good.
Second.
2nd.
Second. So it's music has been a passion of mine since a young age.
Do you drink when you sing?
So I'm getting to that. So I was in an original band for 10 years called Jet Black Sunrise.
Also, great name.
Great name too.
With four of my best friends, my brothers, and our tradition before getting on stage was to, we liked high proof bourbon, and we'd walk on stage with like Booker's, which is like 120 proof.
Bookers.
Yeah,
oh my God, I remember Bookers.
But like back then, we would play 45 to an hour sets, and by the time the Bookers kicked in, we were walking off stage. Now, being the Social Assassins, we're a cover band.
Okay.
And we play a minimum of 3 hours per night. So, and we make a lot more money playing live than the Jet Black Sunrise ever did. So, I feel a responsibility to play it pretty straight. So, unless it's the very end of a weekend on stage, I don't drink on stage. And that's just because it's a very demanding thing.
You think a lot of the customers that are out there listening to your band play, do they ever like bust your balls like, oh, do a shot, do this, do that? They're thinking that they're doing you a favor by giving you alcohol that you don't want because you're trying to be professional and you want to make your brand like serious.
Yeah, if I'm offered a shot, I will do it, but I'm not drinking beer after beer after beer after beer on stage.
Okay.
But like I have friends that play music full time, and we're good. I have friends that play music full time, and one friend lovingly refers to it as he went pro with drinking, so he doesn't do it anymore.
Oh wow!
There it is.
And I've seen people insist that my friend have a drink, and he has to be like, no, I am sober. I don't drink.
Oh, okay.
But the funny thing is, people mistake having a good time with drinking.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
When I'm on stage doing my thing, playing my character that I've created, I appear to be drunk, but I'm not.
First time I heard Mr. Fede here sing was Rob Davis. Did not know the song "Teenage Dirtbag."
Correct.
Nick jumps up there, man. He killed it. I'm like, good Lord. Rob, get off the stage. Put Nick with us.
It's a party trick. Rob is a close friend of mine, and
great man. He's been on the podcast a couple times.
Yeah,
you guys, as you all know, great man.
Well, I love Rob so much. I met Rob post COVID. COVID was a terrible time for a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
me included, and a lot of my friends. But I did get to make some lifelong friendships during COVID through music. Our friend Graham Meller opened up a recording studio in Providence that I did name Uptown Sound, and it stuck.
Uptown Sound.
Uptown Sound.
That's a great name.
What is with these names? Like,
they care about their art. That's what they do.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
That's what it's about. It's about the art, man.
What do you come up with?
Where in my brain? Just a creative dude, bro. So Uptown Sound, and through that, Graham met some people that worked on Block Island, playing music. One of which,
wait a minute,
Graham Meller.
Is that
Graham from the Odeon?
Yes, same.
We
Graham.
love Graham.
Same Graham.
Am I thinking of the right Graham?
Graham from the Odeon.
Yeah,
he used to go upstairs all the time. Guinness Graham.
Oh yeah, I love that guy.
Oh
So-
shoot! He
was doing stuff on like Willie Nelson's tour at one point.
Yeah.
He got me in the Tiffany show for free at the Odeon. By the way, great
there you
dude.
go.
Great dude.
I love
That's
that
my
guy.
brother Graham. We've known each other since we were 5 years old.
We need to get Graham on the podcast.
We need.
Can you get him down here for the podcast,
Get him on
please?
the podcast.
We'll work on it.
We'll work. Tell him we miss Graham. He was a good dude.
Yeah,
I do, man.
He's so Graham met two people that work on Block Island, playing music. Dr. Wes Chesterton, as he's known, as well as Disco Rob Davis.
Disco Rob Davis.
Disco Rob.
He hates that name.
He
hates that name.
and
We just get hats that say Disco Rob Davis and wear them behind the bar Wednesday night. Yeah. We should do that.
Oh, please.
But Rob's one of those guys. So when I met Rob and Dr. Wes Chesterton, also known as Mark, when I met Mark owned Captain Nick's Rock and Roll Bar on Block Island, and he was playing his Dr. Wes Chesterton show at the Greenwich Hotel, and Graham introduces me to Mark after the show, and Graham says to Mark, Nick has a band, he should play on Block Island. And I'm like, I kind of have a band. We played one show so far, because I thought I was done playing music live, and then I realized how much I loved it when I couldn't do it during COVID. So after COVID, the goal was like, let's start a band, let's play some shows, let's have some fun. I don't care if it's my music or not.
I always ask this question. What's the song you hate to sing when people request? I always ask this question.
You got it.
We gotta
do
it.
Song I hate to play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look at the master list of the band.
I'm talking requests, not talking about like what you play, but like.
So my character I play on stage. He does have my name. His name's Nick. But it's kind of like a polar. I'm kind of a quiet guy.
Okay.
When I'm not. I appear to be a shy person. I'm not, but I just choose my words. My stage version is I'm very rambunctious and loud, respectful-ish, but it's fun. So when someone calls a song out with the amount of energy they yell at me, I yell back. There are certain songs I don't like playing in our set, but people love them. So when we're out there performing, number one, we're not in the music business, we're in the alcohol business. We're there to sell alcohol for the bar. So if the crowd...
That's how you feel?
Yeah. So
I thought you'd be there. Like I thought, as a band, that's a great attitude, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But I think, as a band, it's more about like we're there to have a good time, make people have a good time.
It's about the music,
but the having the good time.
It's part of alcohol sales. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But that comes from me being a retailer that sells alcohol. I understand.
I also feel like
focus of it.
I also feel like people that are there for live music aren't huge drinkers. They enjoy the music. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Of the 100% of the people in the bar that has live music there, the people that are there for the live music, I want to say maybe 20% of them are there for the alcohol. I think 80% of them are there like, hey, we're going out, we're gonna have some drinks, but we want to have a good time with the band. That's where I've seen it here and a few other places. Now, obviously, the people that are like having a good time that are drinking, like they're not thinking like, hey, we're gonna get drunk and listen to the Social Assassins. You know what I mean? It just happens, kind of a thing.
It's like it's cars moving in parallel.
Yeah. But I mean, and like I said, that's great. We're here to help you sell alcohol. That's great. But I just know like I've had customers like oh, tell them to sing it. Here's when I sing it, and I feel like the musician that is up at the bar performing for the bar, if he doesn't love what he's singing, then it's not worth singing it.
Yep.
I think that's my philosophy. I could be wrong.
No, I agree with you, and that's very much the philosophy of people like Adam Duritz from Counting Crows.
So, what song do you not love?
I hate playing Free Falling.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, but
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. But if we're playing three shows in a weekend on Block Island, we'll play that one time, and people will sing the shit out of it, and it's fun.
So you enjoy it when they sing along with you?
Yes. I hate practice.
That's basically like the highest form of like a compliment is when the crowd sings with you. Is that considered the highest compliment?
It would be a lot cooler if I wrote it, but yeah.
Oh yeah, obviously.
So all right, going back to Mark, we're at the Greenwich Hotel. Graham says, "Oh, Mark, Nick has a band." Mark was like, "Well, I have a free weekend available. Labor Day. The band fell through. Do you want it?" And I just said yes.
Always say yes.
I said yes,
A whole movie about that.
And then I went to each of my bandmates. Hey, can you do Labor Day weekend? Can you do Labor Day weekend? Can you do? I got 3 no's and 1 yes.
Okay.
Oh shit! I'm not going to call Mark and say, "Hey, we can't do this gig."
Yeah.
So Graham played bass.
Graham plays bass.
Yeah,
Graham plays bass.
I just know him as a sound guy. I didn't know.
Graham's a good bass player.
Play. He's good.
Slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass.
Slapping the
Graham
bass.
played bass. My buddy JC from Jet Black Sunrise played drums, and Jay from Jet Black Sunrise, also who had been in the new band Social Assassins, was the 1 yes, and then Rob Davis stepped up and played guitar. So through that weekend, it became apparent that we had a lot in common. And
That's good.
there's a lot of affection and love there, and at the end of that weekend, Graham and I decided that we were going to adopt Rob. So now Rob has 3 dads. Al Davis's birth father, myself, and Graham. And it's wonderful. Music is wonderful. And now this was our 3rd season playing on Block Island, and it is a complete joy that I get to do it and be a rock star.
What's your number 1 favorite song to sing?
That changes always.
Nah, name a couple. One of the top.
I begrudgingly learned "Love Story" by Taylor Swift for my wife.
Okay.
And it's now a complete favorite.
Okay.
Because the crowd goes bananas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor Swift, yeah.
It's just a good song.
I don't know how I feel about guys who sing Taylor Swift songs. Because a couple of times I've heard it happen, and they're good.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, I never was big on, like, not just live music, but, like, other musicians, like, redoing songs that used to be women's songs that were...
Covers,
yeah. Or women covering men's songs. Like, I always had mixed feelings about it. I don't know why. I mean, I think I called, like, one bad one once, and it messed with my head, but, like, you know... It's
a funny thing. Especially when there's gender-specific lyrics in a song.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah. I mean, some of the men are smart enough to change the lyrics to be man versions of them, but sometimes you can't do it in a certain song.
Yeah. So my approach has been I only change one lyric in one song because I think it's funny. It's in "Ironic" by Alanis Morissette.
Oh yeah. Guys can't sing Alanis Morissette songs. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Well, I do it.
And I love Alanis Morissette, and I love anybody that sings it live. But, like, I know you can do it good because I've heard you sing Teenage Dirtbag. I'm like, if you can do Wheatus, he can do Alanis Morissette.
So the Alanis lyric I changed because I think it's cheeky and funny is it's like meeting the girl of your dreams and then meeting her beautiful wife.
So how do you change that to make it rhyme?
That's the lyric I changed. Because Alanis says it's like meeting the man of my dreams, then meeting his beautiful wife.
Oh, okay.
So I turned it into a lesbian joke.
Gotcha.
Which my 2 lesbian friends were in the front row when I did it the first time, and they're like, "Oh!" It's pretty funny.
I feel like it's like, these Swifties, man, they put too much pressure on these live musicians sometimes.
They really do.
They're demanding, and it's the Taylor Swift phenomenon's interesting because I am not. I could have honestly told you 3 years ago I'd never heard a Taylor Swift song from beginning to end.
Okay,
it was not my thing.
Okay.
I'd heard snippets of "Shake It Off," but that's it.
Well, that's my favorite Taylor Swift song, by the way.
And that's probably like her most well-known song, I guess. But her fans, it's. The dedication they have to the music, it's almost like Grateful Dead fans.
Absolutely.
Where to them, it's the most important musical body of work, period. And they know every single song.
Yep.
So literally, Taylor Swift can go on stage and play whatever she wants. And it doesn't matter what she plays. The crowd will know every single lyric to every song.
It is freaky.
Think about that kind of power as an artist.
Yeah.
Like that's
I don't mean to brag, but I kind of feel like I have that kind of power as a bartender.
Yeah.
No.
whatever you pour.
No.
Boom.
No. I'm just
It's magic.
Yeah, it's pretty cool what she's developed. I will admit I'm still not a fan, but I have immense amount of respect for what she does and how she's been able to monetize her art. Like that's really incredible.
So, who's your favorite cover to sing?
So, all right. So,
Song.
So, Love Story is one of them.
Okay.
Crowd reaction is a big part of that. I love singing "There She Goes" by The Lost.
Really?
Oh.
Okay.
And
I never would have guessed that.
And it's one of those songs it's super simple on the surface, but it's a little twisty and turny with the arrangement, and it's rewarding to see how the first guitar riff, the two guitar players in the band play the same riff at once. It kind of chimes, and the crowd's like, "Oh my god, this song just feels so good."
Let me ask you this, because I feel like I wish we had more people that would do this. And when I was booking bands at Grill on Main, I would always request them to do this, and they never would. But I'm sure you've heard of the Dan Band.
Yeah, I've done that song.
The song.
Oh, the Dan Band. Yeah.
How like they like just start swearing in the middle of a change the lyrics in the middle of the song from The Hangover and from Old School and I wish we could find a band that would do something like that. And there was I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. I want to say I saw him at the Newport Blues Cafe back in the day. He's from New Hampshire, I believe, or Vermont, up north. His name was I think Bruce Jocks, and he would not only sing the songs and change some of the lyrics, he would dress up as the lead singer. Like he dressed up as Axl Rose.
Oh my god!
He would do it while he was playing. He was able to play the guitar and change outfits at the same time. He was insane. He was the closest thing I saw to the Dan Band in my life.
That's an entertainer.
That guy was ridiculous. I'm like, this guy, I want to see him again. He was amazing.
And
he looked wormy. He looked like a little tiny guy. Like he kind of looked like Andy Dick with dark hair. You know Andy Dick?
Yes.
Yeah. He looked like him, but like he was so talented. And I always I know it's some of us stuff's inappropriate to do, but like as a bar, especially lately with all these competitions and the competitors opening up, if we had that one funny guy like this would start. I had one guy at the Grill on Main that would do one song where he changed the words from "Hey There Delilah" to like "Here There Vagina" and made it like work.
Oh my god!
And it was good for it was good for a minute. Then became sort of like offensive, and I'm like, it's funny how you did it, but like at the same time, it's like it's not helping business. You know what I mean?
The tough thing now is. Especially when Dan Band was first doing his thing.
And that was 25 years ago almost.
25 years ago. It was before the advent of real, camera phones.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
You could... bands would go on tour and play the same show every single night. And they could because people didn't have cell phones and they wouldn't give away what the show was. I feel like, having a shtick like that, the first time you do it, it's brilliant. Then it steps down each time a little bit, especially jokes like "Hey there, vagina," And
he did it great. I don't know. I don't know if this guy wrote it or he copied someone else. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Doing.
He was a good guy. I like that guy. His name was Matt. He was a good dude.
And having fun in that way is, it's great. And we do it in small ways during our set, where. If something specific's happening in a night and we can think quick enough on our feet, we can change a lyric in a moment. Which is good, but we do more entertaining things between songs, joking around, and it's fun.
A lot of places that you guys played, did you get a good reaction from the crowd?
Yeah, so admittingly, at this point in the game,
because it's hit or miss here sometimes.
Well, I don't want to work for it, so because my 2 day jobs are running the family liquor store, which is a blessing and wonderful and presents its own challenges, and the whole advocacy, running a trade association. So those are both 2 full-time jobs. When I play music, it is fun, and if you make me work playing music, you're gonna have a problem with me.
Okay.
So
honestly, it's great. I like that because you know what?
Yeah.
I hate when people push musicians sometimes, like to make them do stuff they don't want to do, and like you try to be polite about it, and they still don't understand it, and they have to get rude to get it to the point across. It's uncomfortable for me to see it.
Yeah.
Never mind, as a musician, having to deal with it.
And believe me, like at this point in the game, the fact that I can play music out 10 times a year, and not have to.
Is all you do 10 times a year?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe 12. Like maybe 12.
Okay.
But
so once a month, pretty much.
But like it's in chunks. So Block Island, I'll play 3 shows a weekend. So that's
wow.
For 2 weekends, that's 6 shows.
Okay.
That leaves 4 other times the rest of the year. So, I have the privilege of playing music in a way that I'm not using it to feed myself. So if it's something I don't want to do, I don't do it. So the places I play all have built-in crowds. I don't have to work for a fan base. Luckily, like we're only 2-3 years into this new band, and we do have a fan base, and it's really cool. But when we go play Ocean Mist in November on a college Saturday, no one there's gonna know. No one's gonna be there for the Social Assassins. They're gonna be
just to be there.
They're gonna be there because it's a college Saturday at Ocean Mist.
Okay.
And they're gonna have a good time because we're there, but we're not the draw that day, and I'm okay with that. And the same thing goes on Block Island. Like people, we've developed a fan base out there, but people are gonna go to Captain Nick's because there's live music, but they're gonna stay because the Social Assassins are there.
Gotcha.
And that's cool. So I'm completely okay doing it the way I'm doing it. I'll play a solo acoustic gig every once in a great while.
Okay.
That's harder work than playing in a band.
Absolutely.
Because you're exposed, and Rob does solo acoustic gigs. Rob Davis does solo acoustic gigs 3 to 4 times a week, and I have such immense respect for him doing it, and frankly, he's so good at what he does because of those gigs.
Yeah, he lives and breathes it though.
Oh my gosh,
it's his passion.
The kid plays the phone book. Like he's unbelievable. I could never do that. I don't have the ability. He does, and like the way he interprets songs and plays them, it's really incredible. But my relationship with music at this point is super healthy. I don't do anything 50%, so I've blown it up into something kind of ridiculous, but it's super fun. But it's the exact yin to my very serious yang.
So we're getting ready to wrap this up here, but one last question I'm gonna ask is I never asked this question before on the podcast, Noah.
Really?
So yeah, I came up with this
when
30 seconds ago.
Okay, I was about to
Which
say,
is what we do. There is
right.
no agenda on Late Night Sauce that everyone knows. As our listeners know, there's no agenda. But let's just put a hypothetical situation here, Nick, and let's just say hypothetically, you're in prison and you're on death row.
What the fuck?
what I do to get there?
Let's go with murder, because usually most people go to the electric chair for murder, right? There's nobody else go to. What other reason to go to the electric chair? It's usually a murder thing.
I guess.
Depends on what state you're in.
The warden says to you, "Hey, what's the last alcoholic beverage you want to drink before you hit the electric chair?
Wow.
What would it be?"
Oh,
wow,
that's a great question.
That's why I thought of it.
Do I only get alcohol, or can I have food with it?
You get food with it.
You get last
meal and alcoholic beverage. I mean, I don't know what kind of warden would do something like that, but if I was a warden, I would do it.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna die.
Especially from the fancy steakhouse of our dreams.
Whatever you're thinking,
The very rare meat place.
My last meal is the veal chop at Antonio's restaurant in Cranston.
Oh, that's a good.
But I don't get the veal
choice.
chop that you get because I'm allergic to shellfish.
Yeah, so what do you get?
I get with prosciutto and mozzarella cheese with the marsala wine mushroom sauce on top, stuffed.
Oh shit!
I can't have the shrimp or lobster.
That's probably the way to actually do it, though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
salt and mocha, basically.
It's basically a salt and mocha, yeah, and it's the best veal chop on the planet.
Okay.
If I'm going to die, my last meal, that is the veal. And Anthony, if you're listening, I love you. And if you know the Kiddo One people, tell them to sponsor us.
That's one of the more special bars in the state. That the Antonio's bar. That's a great spot.
Without Dean, they're nothing. One of my best friends. I can say that.
I know who Dean is.
But yeah. So what's your last meal and drink before you get the electric chair and you're going to die?
I'm having a dry aged 18-ounce Kona sirloin.
Kona sirloin.
Kona coffee encrusted sirloin.
Ooh,
with shallot butter.
Yes,
from the fancy steakhouse invented in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm having their Brussels sprouts with that. Which now they put the calorie count next to those Brussels sprouts. Are not so good for you, but at that point, who cares?
Bastards.
Just make you feel bad.
And what am I drinking with that? I mean, it's going to be a red wine.
He's going to Opus.
It's going to be a very
Opus one. Camus?
No, definitely not Camus.
You're not a Camus guy, huh?
No, I'm not.
But I love Camus. If you're listening, Camus was looking for sponsors.
For those of you that love Camus, I respect you. There's a different ass for every chair.
I love that saying, and I cannot wait to use that again. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah,
there's a different ass for every chair. What?
I like that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, man. And and by the way, like with our industry, there's never been more variety than ever before.
Exactly,
especially in the wine world.
Yeah.
And as buyers in this industry, the thing I hate the most is when someone presents to me and says, "Well, what do you think of it?" And my answer always is, "Well, it's not about me. My job as a buyer is to taste something and to first be able to answer, well, who's this product for? And then see if this product's appropriately priced and it provides a value to the consumer." I'm probably picking as my final drink before the electric chair after I murdered Rob Davis.
I didn't say that. I just said you're just going
Listen,
to
you
the
need
electric chair.
background. You need background.
I guess, but why would kill Rob Davis? I love him.
I don't know. I mean, who else is he killing, man?
Because
Maybe a terrorist or something, or a child molester or something. I don't know.
He played the guitar too well.
Would you get the chair for killing a child molester?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, murder's murder, man. They don't care.
I don't know.
There's no such thing as it ends justifies the means in America.
Yeah, valid.
Antinori Tininello is probably
Yeah.
Okay. That wine's great. Yeah, that's final answer.
Okay.
Say it again, because
Antinori Tininello, Tignanello.
Oh,
okay.
Did they make a Brunello as well?
No.
Antinori, I'm thinking of. I'm sorry. Antinori Brunello. My apologies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Good one.
Tignanello, that's final answer. But, this, we're really lucky we work in the industry we work in. We get to bring joy to a lot of people. And guys, this has been a lot of fun.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And you know what? I learned some stuff tonight.
I learned shit.
A lot,
Sorry for talking at you guys for an hour.
No,
you know what? I kind of felt like you weren't making us feel uncomfortable about it.
No,
and I mean, like you spoke like a human.
You spoke at us, but it was interesting, so we wanted to listen.
Exactly.
It's not like you're speaking at us, but you're saying nothing.
Yeah.
You're saying shit.
Yeah, not like, a couple of weeks ago.
Rob Davis.
No, we're not talking about Rob Davis. So anyway,
so Social Assassins.
Trap North, November 2nd. Trap North.
The same day, Kingstown Liquor Mart's hosting our Fall Grand wine tasting from 12 to 3 in the afternoon. So
what day is that?
It's a Saturday.
I'm usually off on Saturday.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll go
so
to this wine tasting.
we'll have
I drink before work all the time. I can go.
We'll have
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
we'll have over 70 wines open to taste.
Really?
Yeah. With big discounts, and then we'll go over to the Trap North, have a lot of fun. We'll play probably 40 songs in a row with no breaks.
You guys do no breaks on 40 songs?
No breaks.
With a full band.
Because I have the privilege of not having to play tomorrow.
Hey.
Okay.
There you go. That makes sense, yeah.
So
anyway, we'd like to thank Mr. Nick Fede here for joining us. And
what a pleasure.
Feel free to stop by Kingstown Liquor Mart, which is located on
6800 Post Road,
6800 Post Road, North Kingstown. And, of course, feel free to stop by the Safe House Trap. And check out the new TikTok videos we've been posting and Instagram at Tap That Glass Tonight. And, we got October coming up. And by the way, I don't know if anybody's been noticing, but we have the In Between the Buns.
I love that series.
By the way, the sandwiches are amazing.
Yeah?
Mrs. Purvis loved the Codzilla.
Oh, really?
The Codzilla, the fried fish sandwich is amazing.
That's great.
I thought she was lying that she wanted to order it. She really wanted it. Loved it.
I'm surprised she watches our stuff.
She doesn't watch our stuff. I just
between
sold
the
it to her.
buns.
I just sold it to her that night.
There it is. Yeah, all right, that makes more sense.
So anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you for listening to our Late Night Sauce, our last podcast for September 2024. We have October coming up, and new cocktails, new topics.
And guys, I hope to come back sometime.
We're gonna have you back,
yeah.
Nick, because I feel like you have a lot more to teach us.
I feel it.
I'm telling you, man. We had a great night tonight, and folks, feel free to stop by Kingstown Liquors to purchase your delicious wines, and also feel free to check out the Tap That Glass TikTok. And we are definitely working on some new desserts here at the Safe House late night. I don't know if you heard about the waffle sliders.
Or the waffle sliders.
The waffle sliders. I'm telling you right now, Saturday nights at the Safe House.
It looks fantastic.
The Nutella Fluff waffle sliders are fucking going crazy. But because of fall coming up, I'm thinking about doing some apple crisp sliders.
Ooh.
So, thank you for listening, folks, and we'll see you next time.